On a minimum wage, becoming wealthy is not impossible. People often say that there's no way anyone could become rich without a high-paying job, and here's why they're wrong. All people need to do to amass their fortunes is to spend less than they earn. It sounds simple enough, but many people forget that this tactic also works for the rich too. They just need to know how best to use those big earnings, which often isn't an easy task because most of them were born into wealth or took huge risk in order to achieve what they did. Building money and riches has a lot to do with your ability to save and invest. And that's why in this video, we'll be talking about a few ways on how you can build wealth while earning a minimum wage. Number 1. Invest no matter how small. Your wealth is tied to your income, so it's important to have a financial plan in place. The most important thing you can do is make a commitment to start saving no matter how little you make. It's much easier to commit now when you're making a minimum wage than later on when your income is higher. If you want to become wealthy on minimum wage, then invest no matter how little. You might not be able to save a lot at first, but every dollar counts. Investing isn't as easy, especially on a minimum wage. One must plan to include necessities such as utilities, food, housing, transportation, and health into their budget, regardless of the earning potential. While most of the paycheck goes to necessary expenses, there isn't much left for investment. However, even a small amount helps, and when you invest a modest sum of money over time, you can end up with a larger amount. You get to decide how much you save for investing, but the more you save, the better. A low income is no excuse for not investing though. Make an informed decision on which investments you want to make and know if it will be beneficial to you. Also, make sure to track what you've invested in because you might need to rethink your decision. Number 2. Start investing early. If you want to become wealthy on a minimum wage, you'll need to start investing early and often. The earlier you start investing, the more time your money has to grow. Investing $100 a month when you're 20 will yield far different results than if you started at 20 or 40. Early investment is important because of compound interest. The more time your money has to grow, the greater its potential for growth becomes. And it doesn't stop there. As interest compounds over time, your earnings also increase over time. You don't have to be rich in order to begin investing. If you wait to plan or act because you think you have decades ahead of you that you can make enough money to save, or that retirement is too far away, you will pay the price later. Regardless of how old you are or how much you earn, a little saved here and there will go a long way in the future. Even waiting just a few months is going to result in a major delay or an outright downgrade in your financial plans. While you may not make a lot of money when you first start your career, there's one thing you do have working in your favor, and that's time. Saving becomes more pleasant with time and something to look forward to. Number 3. Having a frugal lifestyle. Frugality is a habit, not a paycheck. This means that frugality needs to become a part of your lifestyle long before you start earning a minimum wage, and it will likely be a continuous practice for years after you've left the minimum wage behind. If you want to become wealthy on minimum wage, embracing frugality will help you reduce expenses, increase savings, and spend money on experiences instead of things. While there are ways that living frugally can help make you more money at your job, more on that later, first, focus on learning how to embrace frugality in your day-to-day life. When thinking about buying something new, ask yourself whether or not you really need it. Saving money by being frugal doesn't mean depriving yourself. Making sacrifices today will lead to bigger rewards down the road. Frugality is often misunderstood, yet it simply refers to being deliberate in your spending and financial management. Many individuals are poor not because they don't make enough money, but because they don't know how to keep it. Number 4. Cutting expenses. It's not as simple as it seems to figure out how to minimize spending since you might not even realize you're overspending. And altering long-term habits can be difficult. There are, however, strategies to cut your spending so you may put more money toward your objectives and less into products that don't improve your life or your long-term financial status. Setting limits to your expenditure and directing more of your funds to financial goals will contribute to the growth of your net worth and property wealth. If your budget is too high and it prevents you from saving as much as you'd like, it may be time to cut back. trim down on non-essentials such as dining out and entertainment, and reduce your fixed monthly expenses such as cable and your cell phone. If you stop paying for services you no longer use, like gym memberships, stop eating out, and delay the impulse to buy things right away, you can save a lot more. Number 5. Setting smart financial goals. There are lots of benefits to setting goals, like a detailed roadmap to success, and eliminating any wasted time as well as acting as an effective motivational device. One strategy for increasing your odds of achieving your goals is to apply the SMART goal framework. That involves being specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. With a goal that meets these 5 prerequisites, you are more likely to achieve your goal. The idea of financial goal setting is to choose precisely what you want. Without setting a goal and monitoring or tracking your progress, success will be extremely difficult. Goals should be long-term and short-term in scope. Setting short-term and long-term financial goals will ensure your financial security. If you don't have a financial goal in mind, you're more likely to spend too much of your hard-earned money. One result of this is that you might not have the funds available for unexpected expenses. Number 6. Create and stick to a budget. As someone on minimum wage, you need to be more meticulous with your budget since you can't afford to spend anything. A budget can be a benefit because it will show you how close you are to reaching your goals. Another great thing about budget is that it provides you with a sense of control when managing your money, so you feel less stress. All in all, budgeting your expenses will help you stay mindful of your money situation, allowing you to make more prudent decisions about your spending. While budgeting might seem more time-consuming than useful, it can really make a difference when it comes to saving money. Knowing how much you can spend helps you stay on top of your budget and not be swayed by costly impulses. You can keep track of your saving goals and finally achieve them, as opposed to neglecting to use the spare money that you had left over each month. Number 7. Remove high-interest debt. Except for excessive spending, making debt payments every month can cause significant issues for a person that is striving to get rich with a low salary. One instance is where your interest rate is considered fair, such as interest on a mortgage or student loans. But other types of interest are an obstacle that can be easily dodged. Paying it off will take the financial burden off of you and allow you to have more money to spend on things that matter. Think about all the money you could save when you stop paying all those high interest fees. When you're deep in debt, your biggest worry becomes not only how you manage to make your monthly payments, but also saving. Constant stress over your finances might not just keep you from saving, it may prevent you from writing a shopping list and sticking to it. This is where having more income may come in handy to give you more confidence and opportunities to save. Identify your debt, its interest rate, and the length of time until your payments are paid off. Then begin making extra payments each month so that you can get rid of your high interest debt more quickly. If you have student loans with high interest rates, it may be smart to pay those off first before focusing on your other kinds of debts. For example, paying a $5,000 loan at 5% interest down over 10 years will cost you nearly $7,000 in interest fees alone. On top of that amount, add thousands more if you make late payments or default altogether. It's much easier for students who are just getting started in their careers and earning low salaries to become financially independent sooner if they eliminate as much debt as possible early on. It's critical to get out of debt since having more money frees up your confidence and allows you to save for a brighter future. Number 8. Supplement your salary. If you're working minimum wage and struggling to make ends meet, it might seem your income is fixed. But there are a few ways to supplement your salary so that you can get ahead while making a living off of minimum wage. For example, some people choose to work 2 jobs in order to increase their total paychecks. Others take on freelance work or find additional opportunities at their job, like picking up extra shifts. While these strategies aren't always feasible for everyone, they can be great ways for those who are determined enough to make an impactful change in their financial situation. These sources of income can help you pay off debts and costs, which will also boost your salary and minimize the time it takes to achieve your financial goals. Whatever your abilities or expertise, there are several methods to supplement your income. Whatever path you take, you may provide your budget a solid cushion and improve your financial situation far more quickly. That concludes today's video. We hope you enjoyed it and learned some ways to become rich on a minimum wage. Don't forget to subscribe and leave this video a huge thumbs up. Also, please share your ideas in the comment section. We'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.